Welcome to List Solutions. So we have a total of 6 tasks here, and hopefully you've given them all a try. So we'll start off with the first one, which is add all dictionary values. Okay, so what we want is the output of an integer, which is 77. And all we have to do is toys.tab, we'll do values, and as you can see here we have all the values, but this isn't actually a list, it's just a subset of the dictionary. So what we need to do, if I were to do, let's say, index of 0, I get an error, type error. So the way to get around this, if we want to do actual indexing, is convert this into a list. Okay, and now we can go about doing indexing. So we do 0, we get the $ as well with the 40. So we don't want the $ because we can't convert and then add this particular string when it contains a $. So what we can do is, let's say we do 1, we get 4 only, but we want the rest of the number. So we do colon, and now we have the string of 40 without the $. And then we can convert this into an actual float number. So we have 40.0. Okay, now we can do some arithmetic on this. So we'll do plus, we're essentially repeating the same process here, list toys.values 1, so this time we're going to grab 25, and then of course 1 colon to get rid of the $, and then we have 65. I'm just going to convert this into num as a variable, and then we'll do plus. It's actually not going to give the output we're looking for at the moment, just give 12, but just for the sake of keeping it on another line, so it's a bit more clearer, val list toys.values 2, of course, so we're grabbing 12 this time, 1 colon, and we get 12. And if I were to do int, to wrap this round, run that, and then we do num, and we get 77. Okay, great. So moving on to our second task, use comparison operators in a list. So this is pretty straightforward. All we're going to do is get this output here of true, true, false, true, and false. So how do we get this output here? Well, all we have to do is we want 2 trues here, which I've got here as well. And of course, 10 is not equal to 4, so it's going to be true. 50 is equal to itself, so that's going to be true. And then, of course, 90 is not equal to 10, so that's false. And C, the string, is obviously in this tuple, so we do in. And lastly, this is going to be false, because 100 not equal to itself is obviously false. And we have the exact same output. True, true, false, true, false. Okay, so moving on to the next task, len key values or comparison operators. Okay, so what we have to do here is do len, and I'm just going to scroll down to make some space, and we'll do films k1, and we'll get 17 because there's 17 elements within this particular string. And if I do greater than len films k2, and that's true because there's more elements in the k1 than there is in the k2. But if I do greater than len films k3, we get false. And that's because matrix only has a total of 6 elements, whereas Ninja Scroll has a total of 5, 11, 12. So this seems to have about 12 here. So just change this to less than, and we get true, which is what we wanted here. Okay. So moving on to task 4 now, update dictionary. And all we have to do here is create a new dictionary called midlife, and we'll do 5 colon adults, and then 6 colon big kid, and then we do life stages dots tab, we do update midlife, and then we do life stages. And we just scroll down a little bit to check, and what we have is adult and big kid. Okay, so we've updated it just like we had with the desired output, adult and big kid. Right, so moving on to our next task, add all values from list. So it's a little bit more tricky. I'm going to be using the sorted and the eval. I want the desired output of a float, which is 833.0. Okay, so what we have to do here is nest1, and we're going to index this list by 0, and we grab the tuple, and then we want 3, because we're adding 3, 330, and 500 to get the float value of 833.0. So if I run this, we get 3, and then I'll just show here, I'm going to just convert this into, let's say, K1, and then we'll do sorted nest1, 1 this time, because instead of it being 0, this is 1 for the dictionary. And then we're going to do K1, and if I do K1 here, we get the sorted values of the lowest to the highest, but we want 300, so if we do -1, we get 300. So I'll do K1 here, 303, okay, and then we'll do K2 equal to nest1, sorry. Then that's going to be 1 again because it's a dictionary, and then we do K2, and if I do K2 here, okay, and then we want to get just 30, so we do plus K2, 333, and then lastly we'll do K3 equal to nest1, and we want to get 2, so we're grabbing the nested list here, and then we want 1 for the 500. Well, this is a string, so we just simply do eval and convert this into an actual integer, 500, and we do K3, we're 833. Okay, great, and then we just want to convert this into an actual float, 833.0, which is what we have at the top here. Okay, great. So we're moving on to our final task, which is pretty tricky. So add all list values into a string. Okay, so we want to use these two. In this case, it's a list and a docstring specifically, not just a string, but a docstring because it contains triple double quotation marks on either end of this string. And we want to have the desired output of the prices, 9, 4, and 2.5. So this one's pretty straightforward for prices, and we'll start, if we do 2, we get 9, but if we do : 3, we get 9, 4, and 2.5. So this is starting at 2, and then we're going up by 3 each time. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. And then this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. Hence we get 9, 4, and 2.5. Okay, and then moving on to the actual string itself, we'll do sentence.formats, and then we want to fill in and make sure we have the outputs of pizza, chips, and drink came to. So we've got drink in here, so we do pizza, chips, and then we want the $sign here came to. So we have the $sign, drink here, chips, and pizza. Alright, so what else we need to do is dot replace. Let's just get rid of this first, these characters that we want to make it look a bit clearer without them. So we'll get rid of the question marks. Okay, so they're gone now. We'll do dot replace again, and we want to get rid of this. Okay, so it's a bit clearer, but we need the actual numerical value of $15.5. So what we can do is use this list, and we'll create, let's say, pizza equals eval. It's going to be prices, and we'll do 0, and then chips equals eval, But actually, that's going to be a bit confusing. Just do P and C, and that will do as len, because we need to convert the 4 into an actual number 4. Prices 1, and then the last one is D for drink. So P for pizza, C for chips, and D for drink. Let's eval prices 2, and that should be fine. I'll just check what I've done wrong here. A is not defined. Where is A not defined here? Oh, I see. I see what I've done wrong here. I need to actually convert this into, let's call this cash. Let's call that cash. And now, if I do P equals cash, then I will have, let's just do eval cash 0, and then do C equals len cash 1, and then the last one is D for drinks, eval cash 2. So this should work now. Okay, great. Just check the prices. Whoops. Should be P. So 9. C should be 4. And D is 2.5. Okay, great. And then we can just do the calculation here. So what we want is plus string, and we're going to do P plus C plus D. Okay, great. So the bill for the pizza, chips, and drink came to $15.5. Okay, I hope that's been helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Q&A. Thank you.